We're on.
All right, call to order. Time is now 7:05 p.m., January 11th, 2023. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance using the flag at the front of the room. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Here.
Vice Mayor DeVille.
Here.
Mayor
Mike's
Jacobs.
not working.
It's working. You just gotta use it. Operator error.
Is it? It's on.
Yeah.
It's on. It is.
We hear you. All right, additions, deletions, withdrawals to the agenda.
I have one, Mayor.
We're gonna pull,
12.3.
yeah, 12.3. Vice Mayor, anything?
No, that was it.
Clerk, Commissioner?
Good.
All right.
I do want to make one note that it was added on. It was 14.1 was the force main break, the emergency force main break at on December 22nd.
I have 14. Force main break is all it says. No backup.
14.1. There is on the
Oh, I see it. It's online, 14.1.
so it's there.
Okay, got it. Okay. So 12.3 we're removing. And I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the agenda with the added additions or deleted.
And withdrawals.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor DeVille.
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number 6, public comment related to the good of the agenda items, good and welfare. Our one resident? No? Oh, 2. I'm sorry, 2 today. 2. All right, no public comment. I'll entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Discussion?
None for me.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Jacobs.
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
All right, resolutions. 8.1, request for redevelopment units from the Broward County Planning Council. Planning consultant. Let me, sorry, I didn't see it on the second page. Let me change. Resolution number 2023-001. Town Attorney, could you read by title only?
Thank you, Mayor and Commission. This is a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, approving the town's application for allocation of redevelopment units. Attached here to is Exhibit A, requesting the allocation of 568 redevelopment units from Broward County in accordance with policy number 2.335.1 of the Broward County Land Use Plan, directing the appropriate town officials to transmit a certified copy of this resolution to the Broward County Planning Council and to take any action necessary to effectuate the intent of the resolution, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and finally providing for an effective date and providing for the 4 years, Mr. Mayor and Commission. Thank you.
All right.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. My name's Mike Vondermeulen with Keith. Our address is 301 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. This is the first item of several that will be coming to you that are related to our presentation back in October concerning Southwest 30th Avenue and the redevelopment of that property. There were several items. All of them went to the Planning and Zoning Board last week. All received a unanimous approval. However, this one is able to move forward without special advertising requirements. The other items will likely be on your next agenda. There will be public hearings, there will be ordinances, and but this one requires an additional approval by the Broward County Planning Council. So it's good to have it separated and move forward so that everything can pretty much coincide by the time the ordinances get finalized and the Planning Council takes their holds their hearing. So this request is for 568 redevelopment units. Redevelopment units are something that you can receive from Broward County. In the past, the town has had what are called flex units and reserve units and affordable flex units. All of those are residential flexibility that is given by Broward County for each city and each town, each municipality, to allow development and redevelopment to occur in their city. On the opposite end, there is also what they call commercial flex, where if say one of the properties down Beach Boulevard needed to be expanded and it was residential behind it, there's actually a different type of flex that you could use for that. In this particular instance, the town has used quite a bit of their flex. We have approximately 118 units remaining. There are several applications and inquiries that have come through the city. And these 568 would be added to the 118. And these 568 would be essentially new from the Broward County Planning Council. The 568 represents 15% of the total number of dwelling units that are in the town, which has been identified as 3,788. So 15% of that number comes up to the 568. If you were a larger city, the number would be capped at 750. There are several different conditions that need to be met for the units. One is that the town agree that 15% of these 15% of these units would be set aside for affordable housing, and we would have reporting mechanisms to go back to the Planning Council to identify which of those units are affordable and which ones are market rate. Then the last item or the last condition is actually to create what we call a flex receiving map, and that's what you see as Exhibit A. The flex receiving map, what we did was just take all of the commercial land use property in the town, which is mainly along Hallandale Beach Boulevard, that little piece there at County Line, and then the area that is in consideration for redevelopment, Southwest 30th. So that is the areas that we have identified as the flex receiving areas. That's where the dwelling units could be applied to. And so we're recommending approval. Again, this item was presented to the Planning and Zoning Board last week and was unanimously approved at that meeting as well.
Okay. Questions?
No. Looks good.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve Resolution 2023-001.
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. 10 new business 10.1. Leads online. Police Chief Howard.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Clerk, Commissioner. Leads Online, in a nutshell, is software application that the Broward Sheriff's Office initiated within Broward County to monitor pawn shops. Previously, software, everything was tabulated by hand. And we have several pawn shops in our town, so we want to have access to the software. The only reason it's before the commission, because the price is less than $3,000, is because it's a 3-year contract to maintain the price from going up more than 3% a year. Any questions?
So it's 3,000 for the first year?
It's actually less, but then next year they can only raise it 3%.
3%.
All right, and we have funding for this.
I believe we have fun.
Okay. All right, I'll enter questions.
No.
Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve 10.1 leads online.
Second.
Discussion.
None.
Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor DeVille. Vice Mayor DeVille,
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes.
10.2 qualifying period and general election discussion. Town Clerk Martell.
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to let you all know, first of all, congratulations to the mayor and to our clerk commissioner. Both of them have been unopposed, therefore they won't have to actually go for re-election. So congratulations to you both. We will be having an election on March 14th, where we do have 3 districts that have a opposition. So there's 2 candidates in each district. It's District 1, District 4, and District 5. Up to now, everything has been going as planned. The elections department has been keeping me abreast of all information and I've provided them with everything needed. So I just wanted to inform you of how that's going about and if you guys have any questions for me.
Questions?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. 12.1 discussion items that I have here on the agenda. Executive assistant for the mayor's office. The way we currently have it set up is this executive assistant position works for all the commissioners. I'm requesting that we change that to where it's for the mayor. That way we don't have any conflict of problems with the sunshine issues. And this person will also continue to do the events when we get someone in here. This is a 2-part right here because we don't have an events coordinator. We don't have an assistant right now. My poor wife has to remind me she is my wife, not my assistant, even though the police chief knows and JC knows, she stepped up and she's been keeping my calendar up to date and working as my assistant just to keep me organized with everything I got going on. So, but yeah, we need to get that position filled. But my recommendation is that we change the way it is and just pull it out from being for the full commission and just being an assistant for the mayor, but also the events coordinator. So that would be part 1 of this. Part 2 would be, since we don't have someone right now and we have events coming forward, that we move events up to the police department. They've stepped up and said that Joy and the police department will handle the events for the time being until we could get someone in that position, so we don't have any more blunders when it comes to our town events. I think we have the health fair coming up next. Yes, health fair is coming up next, and there's a lot to put that together. But
You one of them double payroll things?
nope, it's going to stay exactly the way it is right now. No extra pay for the position. They're just going to step up and help us out till we get someone in that spot.
I see.
So, JC, I think you just need direction on this, right? Sorry, we can't hear you.
If the commission agrees, then we'll make that change. It's up to you guys. The only reason I asked you to put it on is because, well, that needs to be a decision from the commission, so.
All right.
But the money.
You guys okay with that? The money's there for the coverage. She's not getting double pay to cover the events until we get an events coordinator in. She's just maintaining what her pay is up there in the police department.
Okay, I'm fine with that, but the commission still need an assistant.
And
So if you want your own assistant, that's fine, but then the commission, the remaining four will need their own. assistant also.
JC, how you want to address that?
That's a discussion I'd have to have with Roy as far as our budget is concerned, and come back with a proposal, and then.
And we do have a few through the town, seeing how everyone kind of oversees different different positions. That there's, the vice mayor could use your assistant out of your office. We could break it up that way.
We can do that. I'll speak with each commissioner individually and pick your brains, and see, the comfort level that you have with existing staff to see if that would be a good fit.
Yeah, I mean, I rarely use the assistants.
I know. I know.
Pretty
It's
much
just-
do my
it's
own
just-
thing,
it's
but I
just-
know the rest of the commissioners.
Yeah. Absolutely. And plus, after March, when we have a full commission,
And that's the point of it. You guys don't really use one very often, and me, it's on a daily basis. So for keeping this this position going. So, is that all right with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we'll give direction on those. Another issue I brought up at the last meeting is police payroll. Every single week since we opened, our payroll has been messed up for the police officers. I'm making a recommendation after talking to everybody concerning this. Roshana is stepped up. If you guys agree, Roshana will take over full payroll for the police department. She'll need full access to ADP and the contact we have with ADP to correct any issues. But the problem is every time payroll leaves the police department to go to the town, paychecks are getting messed up constantly. Roshana, would you mind coming up real quick and just giving a few examples of how pay's been messed up? Do you have any on the top of your head? I have a few, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Let's see how. Can you guys hear me? I don't know. Hello.
Nope, can't hear you. Just speak real loud, we'll hear you.
Good evening.
There you go.
Thank you for allowing me to come up. Vice Mayor DeVille, Commissioner Hodgkins, Mayor Jacobs, and the town personnel. So for the last 12 or 13 pay cycles, there have been numerous issues with police officers' pay. Not really sure where the disconnect is happening. From my understanding, sometimes it's the actual ADP system itself. We don't have a dedicated representative for the town, to my understanding, and the way that it was initially built prior to the police department deploying, the build out of the ADP system was incorrect. So we've had issues concerning schedules, input for the police officers. We've had issues with base salary pay. We've had issues with overtime pay. We've had issues with career incentive pay, which is a perk that police officers obtain for the taking of training classes throughout their career. So every single pay period cycle after paychecks are deployed, officers are coming to me complaining, stated that they haven't received this pay, they haven't received that pay, they've been, underpaid over here, but overpaid over here. So it's just a very trying time. What should, in my opinion, take maybe 30 minutes for me to do, I work on payroll for about 2 days straight for 12, 13 personnel. So it's very time consuming. It's very stressful. I'm always in communication, but for some reason, it's just not working. So I would rather have full access to the police department build out. I would rather take on full responsibility and have full access for ADP so that these issues can be resolved.
Isn't the build out itself different than the actual payroll section of it?
I don't understand the process. I wasn't here. We don't, the problem from my understanding is we use different codes as a police agency. We use different pay as a police agency.
And they conflict with the
We conflict with the ADP. So for example, the town gets holiday pay for Christmas, but Christmas was celebrated on the 26th as opposed to the 25th. Officers who have left their families to come and protect the town and do service for the town worked on Christmas Day.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they should, in my opinion, and I hope that you all agree with me, should also be paid holiday pay for the actual day of Christmas, which happened to be a Sunday.
Whatever day they work, they should get paid for it.
Correct. So that didn't happen. So we had to call ADP again. We had to make sure that, well, it wasn't me because I don't have access to their customer service information, but ADP was contacted to be able to reinstate Christmas Day as the actual holiday, right? So then, even with that reinstatement, I was unable to enter the officers for holiday pay for Sunday. I didn't have access to that. So it's very trying, so it's just stressful, and I would love to eliminate the stress because there are other things that I have to do and I can't get to my main job because I'm so focused on payroll every 2 weeks.
But
Roy,
that's
excuse
what
me.
you're requesting. To take full control of payroll.
Yes,
For
because
the
I
police
feel
officers.
for just the police department, I feel that if I have I've been requesting full access. The chief doesn't have full access to ADP as well. So without full access, there are things that I cannot
I understand.
do
Yeah.
and I can't request. So I feel like if we have full access, I'm able to, alleviate a lot of the complications.
Okay.
I do just want to provide a little bit of background in when the ADP was initially set up a year and a half, 2 years ago, whenever it was.
We didn't have a police department.
We didn't have. So we set it up for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Right.
And so now we have a 24-hour agency, and it's been difficult to say the least to make that happen. So want to set up a separate portal just for police with their own rules and codes. And that's what we're working on. And I think maybe Roy has.
I was just going to ask Roy if he had something to add to that to make it, if there was a way to clear it up.
Good evening, Mayor and Commission. Glad to be back here in front of you guys. Yes, as you all know, we've had some issues with payroll. And as the town manager just mentioned, when ADP was first built out, it was built out for the town's personnel, not including the police department. We all know that the police department came on October 1st, and at that time, there was no infrastructure in place for the police department's ADP module per se. So yes, over the last 12 weeks, we've had some issues with everything that Major Donovan stated. I'd be more than happy to work with Major Donovan and maybe even relinquish the police part. However, with all the changes, with all the issues that she mentioned, I still think there's going to be a problem because of just the platform that we're using.
My whole point of doing that is we have someone who knows the police department dealing with ADP to straighten out what we got over there. That was the whole thing. Taking someone who doesn't know how the police department's pay works to bringing it back. I could sit here and explain aviation pay to you. It would take you a week and you would still scratch your head on how do you get paid again?
No,
So,
and I'm with you. I look at the timesheet and oftentimes I scratch my head and I call her all the time. So we're in constant communication, but every 2 weeks, every time we do payroll, there's a different issue. We thought we fix it, we iron it out, and then it messes up something else. So, today I came in, I called ADP at 8 o'clock this morning. Our HR director called in also, and she's away from work right now, and she's doing her part. And there's just a lot of moving variables to try to align. And I think that separating the two, meaning separating police from our regular personnel, will help out. And I think that maybe even separating, having that hands-on knowledge and, from the police department may help. So I'll work with the major. I'm sure we'll figure something out. We've been grinding it out along with Valerie and Babette. It's just a lot of moving pieces. And, it kind of took off before we expected. But every time payroll comes, it's not something you want to hear. We do correct it, we do fix it, but our goal is to have it done correct the first time, and we're working towards that.
okay.
Mayor, as Roy was mentioning, we have no objection to what you're saying, or what you're requesting. I think what he failed to mention, though, is that ADP is what we're gonna do with ADP now is a short-term solution, but we're gonna be looking at through Tyler Technologies, which is our current ERP system. We're gonna look through what their payroll module they have, because municipalities use them a lot and with police departments. So I believe that that'll be a better solution.
Okay.
long-term. So
This is a temporary fix to see how things go for a little bit. So it's all yours. Nothing. No, you can sit down. It's just all yours to deal with now. So enjoy. If you didn't have enough on your plate already, there's some more. I see the smile over there.
Full now.
All right. I don't have this listed here, but before we go forward, JC, the police study. What was the name of the company that did that?
CPSM,
Yep. And the economic development study.
that was Business Flair.
Okay. Can we do this direction-wise? Since we still have yet, I've been asking for months upon months for the final copies. Guys, we paid a lot of money for this. $48,000 for the final copy of the police study and $80,000 for the economic development study, and we still don't have final copies. So at this point, I think my recommendation would be to have the attorney write a notice, send a notice of 30 days to either give us the study that we have paid in full for, or we get a refund on our study, because we have yet to get the final draft of either one of these. And we're going on, I think, at least a year.
I had sent an email to the commission as far as Business Flair to meet. There hasn't been some response to that.
I haven't heard from them, so.
A while back.
Neither have I.
But I will set that up. They're just waiting to meet.
Okay, so if Business Flair is waiting to meet with us, make that happen so we can get it done.
That happened.
On the other one, that was completed. We never got a final copy, final draft of it.
I'll get the final.
So I know they're not a fan of mine, but we still paid for a service. So I expect a final draft of it.
Okay.
That is at least up to a B level. So
Okay.
last one was a D minus. So, and then coverage for the Public Works Department. It's going to be split between Miguel and JC, so the commission's aware. Until we fill the director/engineer position for that, Miguel has stepped up with JC to take over the director position of Public Works, and it's going to include part of Building Department, keeping up, helping out with public works to keep the department going forward, as we don't have a director or an assistant up there right now. JC, you want direction from the commission to go forward to advertise? I think you said you had it ready.
We have it ready and it's going to go out tomorrow.
Okay. But I wanted to make you guys aware who's covering.
You have rubber boots, big rubber boots.
He's got big rubber boots. I seen him in them. They're white.
He's wearing them now.
Building official. Yes, I have it in my office white.
They're white.
They won't stay that color for long.
I don't know if they're gonna stay white for a long time, but there will be a funny color at the end.
And your phone will be on at 3 in the morning, right?
Yeah, it is going sometimes. Ask Chief Howard. He has called me at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Hollandale Beach Boulevard, Pembroke Park Boulevard. I've been looking into this for a while now. This goes along with the draft of the economic development study that we have. I think with all the work that I've done here in town over the several months and years, that we should change this to Mayor Jacobs Boulevard. Just need some support from everyone to go forward with it. No? Hey, listen, I'm trying. All right, so actually there is a real problem.
They could make all the lights change at the same time.
That would actually be nice too, especially that triple intersection where nobody knows where to stop. So, or the U-turn where it says no U-turn, where everybody does a U-turn where it's not big enough for a car to do a U-turn at.
There was an accident there the other day, wasn't
Listen, we hired new traffic officers. I'm waiting for them to straighten that situation out. But here's the real problem. In the study, it talks about changing Hollandale Beach Boulevard to Pembroke Park Boulevard to help make our town, more visibility. This is Pembroke Park. We're not Hollandale Beach. But it was also discovered that it was approved back in, I said it wrong. I said it was 2006, but 2012.
Well,
So what I want to go with here is some direction to the town manager and the interim public works guys to figure out, to investigate the documentation on it. There is a plaque. If you guys look in your backup there, there's a, yep, there's a plaque with the photo on it. JC, did you find out if it was changed with the state yet?
yeah, the state, that plaque says the state changed.
That's what I thought. Okay, so the state did change it. But this is what happened here in the town. Things happened and no follow through. So we have this sign up and nothing else happened. The signs never changed, things never changed. So my whole purpose for putting this on here was to give the interim direction to investigate and fix the problem, to correct this, because somewhere in our paperwork back in 2012, there's all the information that goes with it. So I'm not opening any boxes. Let Marlon do that.
I'm done with boxes.
I think everyone's done with boxes for at least a little bit till we get a break opening boxes here in the town. But that is something that has already gone through. No follow through happened with it. So here we got another issue looming over us from the previous commission that they left hanging and never did anything about it. What else do I have? So you guys okay with direction for them to fix that? Okay. You got a unanimous direction to look into that and figure out the how to fix this problem.
It was already legally done. We just have to
Figure out how to go through.
and make sure we change all the.
The signs,
And that's DOT responsible for the signs, right? Because that's the highway there.
I have to double. It is the highway.
Yeah.
But I have to double check if there's any language in.
There's got to be something in there. There
Legislation.
always is. Those attorneys, they just always write something in there.
Do they control the media?
All right, last thing, the roof. Miguel, do you have anything on the roof by any chance? Do you have anything new on the roof?
They were working on it.
I saw him here today as well.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioner, Miguel Nunez, building official. Yes, they started working yesterday, and I think they finished it today for the emergency repairs. However, instruction has been given to Ms. Woodbury, which is it was the only person at that time for the public works, to notify the contractor that they will need a building permit, a roofing permit, because exceeded the minimum requirement by Broward County. That is only in Broward County, unfortunately, but we need to follow by the same rules. And,
Okay.
But I believe they're either finishing today or tomorrow.
And
Personally, now we need to go into the procurement for.
yeah, I was just going to say, can you guys go forward?
Just to stop the water from coming in.
Yeah.
I got it.
Now we go and replace the.
Go forward and get that roof fixed. So we have the grant for it. We just got to get it done.
Yeah, Miguel and I are meeting tomorrow, and
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about it.
Okay. And you guys can zoom me in if you want. So,
Not a problem.
the roof. Yeah, that's all I have on the roof. Just to make sure we go forward.
what's the minimum cost without needing a permit?
The building code actually, if it's a repair, there is a couple of conditions in accordance to the Broward County. If you can repair a roof up to 20% within 1 year without then having to replace the entire roof, pertaining that particular roof is no more than $1,500. Once you exceed by $1,500, regardless of the size, even though it's repaired, you need a permit for the repair. So it's a two.
So if it's less than 20%,
Somebody who's
I believe we will make sure if Mrs. Woodbury hasn't contacted them yet, we will make sure that she contacted and we're having communication with them tomorrow for that.
She has contacted them. Contacted them today.
I believe you are in communication with her.
shouldn't be a problem anyway, so.
Any more questions?
that was it. Thanks.
More questions? All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Trying to have a 40-minute meeting. We're going to see if we can do it. All right. 12.2, evac truck for sewage spillage, Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yeah, in our latest episodes on various avenues where we've had ankle-deep sewerage running into places where it shouldn't be running, if we had a small evac truck, we could probably eliminate some of those spills running into places where they shouldn't be. And I've looked at 2 or 3 different ones. They're costly, and you need a CDL license to use them, to drive them. But I think it would really benefit the town to look into it a little bit more and you know, shop around, see what we can find, if we can find one. And
Did anyone happen to fill you in that we've done this before?
an evac truck?
Yep. Since I've been here, they've been talking about a pump truck. About 3 years ago, we did a feasibility study to see if it was, this was when the previous town manager was here. We did a cost analysis of what it would cost for a pump truck, what we actually use it for, and what it would cost to have one sitting here, because these things are so extremely expensive just for the truck itself, the cost of operation. It's not used enough to make it worthwhile for the town. It was cheaper for us just to rent it as needed when the incident occurs, because you know.
The only problem I saw with that was that by the time the guys got there, probably 60,000 gallons went somewhere, and I don't want to say where.
We know where it went.
But there's $25,000 fines and $50,000 fines from the EPA a day.
And that truck rental is on a 24/7 rental. We have access to it when need be. What it is that truck is somewhere between 100 to 200,000.
Right.
Plus, we have to maintain insurance on it. Again, we have to have a CDL, and I don't know anyone else here that has a CDL. I know there's a handful in the town. So, yeah, and me too. So, but I don't. The cost of it to just have it sit there wasn't worthwhile
I was just trying
because of the
to
maintenance.
mitigate the lawsuits from you know, the.
Well, those aren't lawsuits; those are fines. Those just straight come to us.
Whatever you want to call them.
But having the pump truck on availability the way we have was the better route to go because of the cost. It's not budgeted. I mean, if it's something you want to push forward and try and budget for it, you gotta do a full cost analysis on how much it's going to cost to sit around, because if it's got an engine on it and it's not running, it's falling apart. So.
Still maintain it, right?
So that's the issue with that. But we did that. It was 3 years ago, and JC, I'm sure you can find it. It's somewhere in Agatha's
I'll have to look. But
Agatha's files.
if I
But
just may add my 2 cents to this discussion. The value to the town for a truck like that, let's say we had our own truck, would probably be for more stormwater maintenance and minor sewer repairs. But when you have, and you'll notice on my item coming up, when you have a sewer force main, there's so much sewage that we had 3 or 4 trucks out. So it's that one truck would
be overwhelmed.
and then when it gets full, then you have to take it, dispose of it at a facility, or I don't know where this facility is. You pay for that charge, and then come back, continue pump, and then go back and forth. So that's why we had in the last sewer spill, there were like 3 or 4 trucks just constantly coming in and out. So that for the large sewer spills, we would still need 3 more. You know.
And
I see.
then there's another thing we need to take into account, that we're going forward trying to correct the sewer problem in the town. As right now, the town is responsible for all the sewer systems within the majority of the mobile home parks, which is the government is responsible for private property for sewer. And that's not the way it should be at all. The parks should be responsible for their own sewer. There was something that happened in the past where it was handed over, but keep in mind all the commissioners that sat up here own mobile home parks. So it's the actual systems need to go back to the property owners. So we were in discussion with that a while back. JC, I don't know where it went. We were trying to figure out a solution because it's a really big problem.
Yes, and I'm still working, and I'm gonna be one of my next things that I'm going to be discussing with our interim town attorneys.
Yeah, this is going to be a long term. It's going to take at least another year to figure out a solution to this, and then we'll probably have to phase it in to get it going. But that's still on the table, and that's still something we're dealing with. But the amount of work that the sewer guys will have once the parks are maintaining their own will drastically cut back down. Speaking of which, I met with everyone with town staff today. I did a state of the city with town staff to kind of see where everyone was, what they're looking forward to see around town, improvements. They came up with a list of really good things for all of us. I met with JC and brought them all forward. I'll give you the short list here of things that they would like to see. They would like 4 people in the sewer department, as we have 4 people in parks, 4 people roads and streets. They'd like to have 4 in sewer department versus 2. Spoke with JC about that. They want to do a temporary fix on that sinkhole because it is getting worse. I did drive it after the meeting with them today, and they are right. One employee would like to see the striping on the roads redone because our striping's fading. So, our yellow curbs, our white curbs, our striping in the road, they'd like to see that done, which again makes our town look much better too. They'd like to see consistency in repairs. So instead of calling out a repairman, I'm going to use the bucket loader as an example. When we have a hydraulic hose break on the bucket loader, instead of just paying for the service call to have them come out and fix that one item, we need preventive maintenance done on the equipment, not just reactive maintenance. So there's a couple other hoses that are bad. Let's fix the problem now, so we're not paying for all the extra service calls for them to come back. That's kind of been a problem for the last 4 years since Ray and I have been here with that area. So they would like to see more consistency. We talked about Imperial Electric with the medians to repair the outlets in the medians and install some new outlets for our decorations for holidays up and down the boulevard. They would also like to see the banners and flags back along the boulevard again. The poles that we have on our light poles are old and broken, but they're going to put that together so we can have a town look like a town again during any of the holidays. Have flags with our town logo up on it that go down the boulevard there. The light problem, we do have a problem with the lights, but there's a problem with the control panel. This is all being worked out right now. This has to do with the construction going on Hollandale Beach Boulevard. If you guys didn't notice, on your way in today, it might have been too dark, but they have started construction on the O'Reilly Auto Parts down the street too. The car wash looks like it's getting finished up nicely. The strip mall is open and it's very active over at the Wawa Hospital and Storage Unit location. So there's a lot of work going on right along the boulevard, and people are taking note of how much we got going on. They want to get the corrections with sewer outs. These guys get called out all the time. So there's a pay issue and a manual issue that we got to straighten out. JC was made aware of it. He's going to fix that. And if it has to come back to us, he will. But again, this is regarding staff, so I don't believe it will have to come back to us. We are updating the employee handbook, so I think that is part of it. JC, right?
Correct.
I haven't got that far along in the new handbook. They would like on the next budget year a Bobcat, particularly one with claws, so it can pick up all the garbage when all the illegal dumpings around town.
And a forklift.
With the forklift attachment on the front, it's multi-use. So instead of buying a forklift and a Bobcat, we could use the Bobcat for both. That would work perfect for us.
They're pretty versatile.
Yeah, and they would like to see a bumper put on truck 29. Apparently the truck was fixed, but the bumper never was. I know these are little things, but these are things that the staff brought forward that they would like to see. I addressed every single one of them with the town manager today, and I let him know I was going to bring them forward tonight so we could just have a little discussion on it, so you guys know what our staff is interested in seeing.
Seeing as you
So.
go back and you've been here longer, you found out more things than I have. Has there ever been a discussion about using an outside contractor to do the lawns and the trees and all that stuff, the landscape, because they're professionals, they go in, they go bang, 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 and most of the towns do that.
That would be outsourcing, and I am dead set against outsourcing because when we outsource, we lose our employees. They're gone. And then we have a private contractor that comes in. I look at our employees, take pride in our town. They've been here for a very long time, and they do a really good job.
I thought maybe it would give them more time to do other things.
No, it eliminates their jobs. Once we outsource, their jobs are
They go to
gone.
lawns and that eliminates all the jobs.
That eliminates their jobs. That eliminates those positions.
It
So
also creates more litter because, as you know, the town doesn't stay too clean for a long period of time. So if we outsource, you know, let's say they come once a week, as opposed to the guys that can go every day or every other day to pick up trash.
they see something when they're out and about, they could stop and take care of it.
Yeah,
When you have a contractor,
Trash, I was thinking about just the mowing of the lawns and the trimming of the trees.
that's that outsources most of the positions for those guys. And I'd rather have people here working that take pride in their position and in the town than outsourcing. But yes, that has come forward before.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Attorney reports, anything?
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity. Jacob Horowitz is a bit under the weather this evening, so he's not here. I'm here for him. Pleasure to be here. Since engaging us to assist you and the city manager, town manager, and others, we try to integrate our assistance to all staff members, including those sitting on the dais as well. We'll do our best to learn more and to work further to engender our relationship further with you all as well. We're not new to the process of local government. However, we are new to the town, and we look forward to being able to integrate further with all of the folks who have been extremely helpful to us. Everyone in this room, quite frankly, very seriously in a very positive way, including your town manager. And we're available to meet, much like the people that have sewer breaks. We actually detect those with various
You want to come out and do those inspections at 3 in the morning too?
I don't have a pair of white boots. I have to.
I will get you a pair of white boots, and I'm taking pictures, and I'm sharing it with the league how hard you work.
No, well, I'm happy to try. So thank you for the opportunity again, and welcome working with you much more.
Thank you. Hopefully Jacob gets better soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Town manager, bring the bad news. $58,000 worth.
That is correct. That was the price tag for the last sewer force main break. That was on December 22nd, if I'm not mistaken.
23rd.
The 23rd, sorry. And I asked Stephanie to put together the little breakdown because it's not just 58,000 to one vendor. It's 3 different vendors that come out. So that is the total cost, and I'm asking for after the fact approval from the commission as per our emergency purchase ordinance.
And just so everyone is aware, JC and I are scheduled to go up to Tallahassee next month, and we are going to work diligently to get funds from it's very difficult from a legislator to help with a lot of these issues. Our infrastructure here in the town has been neglected for so long. From doing research and reading, it was back kind of preventive maintenance kind of stopped around 07-ish, and it just went to reactive maintenance. So now is time that we have the team here to continue going forward, building back the public works department. These guys used to do everything in-house, and then the last year and a half, things have gone to contractors. I'd like to see things moving back in the direction of us taking care of the majority when it comes to these force mains like this. We have to use contractors. These are major items that happen real fast, and it brings a lot with it, not just a temporary fix of a pipe. So we're working on infrastructure. I'm also heading to DC next week for the same thing. I'm with the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Get a lot of resources up there that help Connie and D. Carper and the rest of staff out with funds. So again, my job is a panhandler for the town. So I'm getting pretty good at that. So, but yeah, 58,000. Want to vote for approval?
Yeah, just need a vote for approval,
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
and this will come from sewer fund. So
Motion to approve 58,000 for emergency repairs.
Did it say 59? Because it's like 58 and some change.
58,345.
And I lost where it was.
$58,345.
345. 58, 345.
Motion to approve 58,345 for emergency repairs.
I'll second.
Discussion.
None.
No, these emergency repairs get expensive, so I'm trying to get the town in a more proactive stance.
There is one more that happened after that.
We know.
Over there in,
Yep.
by West Park.
Not looking forward to that bill either.
They're not pretty.
But it happens. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor DeVille, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor DeVille?
Yes.
Mayor Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, Commissioner reports.
I have nothing.
Vice Mayor.
I have nothing. Let's keep moving forward. I think we've come a long way from 4 years ago. And we just gotta keep chipping at it.
All right. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. I'm going to give you a police report as the police commissioner first. We had our first town homicide the other night, solved in the same evening. Broward Sheriff's homicide unit came out, assisted. We had officers that showed up from Hollandale. And did we have Hollywood too? Hollywood and Hollandale showed up to help out along with BSO. I showed up on the scene, and it was nice to see the interagencies step up and helping the guys out. The homicide unit took it, and it was solved that night. So that was great. Even though the media still calls us Pembroke Pines, at some point they're going to know we are Pembroke Park. I will be. Yeah, I know.
We gotta get that sign up there.
I'm telling you, it's at some point they're going to know who we are. So, but I'm working on that. We also had a vehicle fatality. So that night shift ended up working a great deal. It was a long night for them, but I will tell you, residents are thrilled with the police department. I questioned a couple about the noises they don't hear in town anymore, and where I was going with was the street racing that we have going on in the warehouses, because that's all but stopped. They actually said gunshots. Gunshots is what they don't hear anymore since the police department's out and they're visible, and at night they're running around with their lights on. The noise of gunshots has actually dropped in town.
We had
So
no bullets through our roofs this year.
that's also a good sign. So we didn't either. I climbed up on there yesterday.
Oh, you didn't find-
After I was told you had 2 in your roof at one point. So,
No, that was Eric.
oh, that was yours? You had one? Okay, so. Yep. Happy New Year. Call your home insurance. So, police department's doing outstanding. We're almost up there to fully staffed. We have new officers on. I bought them tent meters, so that's my favorite tool. And the ones that have it are happy with it. Hopefully they use them. So, can't say anything else about the police department except they're doing really good things. From the mayor's side, again, my schedule is full the next couple weeks. It is dealing with the state, dealing with the feds, and trying to get some money in the town. And I am traveling. So I'm always available via phone, Zoom meetings, whatever you guys need. So just give me a call. That's all I have. We'll move on to announcements.
We need to just change the very first one.
Oh, you're
It's
killing
going to
me.
be January 25th
25th.
for the special magistrate.
Okay, special magistrate hearing Wednesday, January 25th at 9 a.m. Workshop commission meeting Wednesday, January 25th at 6 p.m. Charter review committee meeting Monday, January 30th at 6 p.m. All right, we are at 53 minutes. Anyone want to wait for an hour, or you want to call it early?
Mr. Mark,
All right, everyone's favorite time, adjournment. Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Less than an hour. Look at that.
Got 40 minutes.
I was trying for 40, but I started talking.